Hey everyone, today I'm going to be continuing the Champion Overhaul showcase for the King Arthur Knight's Tale Enhanced Edition mod. Last time I covered Black Knight, so I figured this time I will be covering White Knight. Now the White Knight doesn't have quite as many changes as the Black Knight, but there are a couple interesting modifications that have been made, some that I think some of you will probably notice immediately. First off being that in Tier 1, he has Holy Armor now instead of Tier 3, which I think is actually not a bad idea. Holy Armor is a very strong defensive ability, but honestly, it's not super needed for the White Knight when things like Damage Focus exist, and Damage Focus has not been altered from the base game. So I think this does give a good earlier defensive option for this hero, since he doesn't have something like defensive stance. And then by the time you get to Tier 3 and you're using Damage Focus, then Holy Armor may start to fall off a little bit in how much you use it, but I think that's completely fine. It does still have some usefulness in the fact that you're still getting 30 armor at max level, which is a crazy high amount, plus it comes with a taunt on it. So now it's all enemies within 3 tile ranges will turn towards him and attack him, and this will be resisted by enemies that have at least 50% mental debuff resistance. He made a slight change to Blessed Weapon. Nothing really crazy. They just changed it so that way the Smite upgrade here, instead of just being a bonus to Lost, it now causes burning and has a very small execution ability at 5% rather than like 15%, 20% like some other abilities or items. I think this is a good change. Having an upgrade be specific to just the Lost, while that'll be really good whenever the Lost endgame season comes around, for general use, obviously not very helpful. Tier 2, no real changes were made. It's the same as Black Knight, really. We have Vengeance, we're going to be using that again, Armorer. We actually did have enough skill points to pick up Earthshaker this time around. One upgrade I didn't really go into, though, on Power Attack, is that this upgrade here over Power, instead of being a stun now and making the ability cost 1 more AP, it applies Knockback and Knockdown for no additional AP, which I think is really good. I think this would have been fine staying a stun if he just removed the AP cost increase from it, but the knockdown honestly is probably just as good. So the fact that he removed the AP cost increase is the main thing, so I really like that. Tier 3, we're still keeping Damage Focus as usual and melee expertise for that killing spree, but 2 new changes. We have Whirlwind now. He kind of made Whirlwind a much more staple move for all of the champions, so we're going to pick this up on White Knight. I think it would be pretty good on him since he does have the ability to use his Blessed Weapon. And a new ability he added, Coup de Grace. This is a big attack, 140% damage, and it does an additional 100% if they're stunned, knocked down, or blinded. Not too hard to set these conditions, so this can be a huge hit. It's 7 AP, so that's quite expensive. But that's a huge hit, and I'm excited to see how much damage we can pull off with this. The upgrade's on it for an extra 15%. For Disorient, it's now a new status condition. He is set if you hit them from behind, so a backstab, they will become disoriented for 1 turn, and this is kind of like the Mind Fog effect. They'll just attack whoever is closest to them on their next turn, regardless of ally or enemy. With the Relish upgrade, now you reduce the cooldown by 3 turns if you get a killing blow with this, which basically means you'll get it back on your next turn, unless you get another kill on that same turn off of, like a killing spree chain into glory kill, then you would immediately get it back this turn. But given how the AP rework goes with this mod, the ability to use this twice in 1 turn, very, very low. And then Great Mercy, an additional 40% if they are stunned, knocked down, or blinded, so that becomes 140% weapon damage bonus, so it just double damage. So this is a bit of a nuke. I'm really excited to see what we can do with this. And beyond that, there's a couple things that got moved around, like he has an Adept Bleeding skill now, so bleeding effects are stronger, and you'll do extra damage against bleeding targets, plus strength, but that is basically everything. The only gear difference here is I'm using Horn of the Pale Stag for this 15% culling hits ability, extra power attack damage, and some stacking damage from getting kills. So with all that said, let's just jump into some fights so you can see what this reworked White Knight can do. So I've chosen the Fall of House Caldwell to be the example mission for the fights I'm going to show off the White Knight in, because Fomorians can't be knocked down. And I want to knock down some enemies so that way I can coup de grace them for that extra meaty 140% bonus damage. I do have Morgoth too, who could stun, but I just felt like being able to set up some knockdowns with the White Knight would give me more opportunities for this, and also kind of just show off some of his own self-synergy, where he doesn't need to rely on other party members to enable his nuke here. And because we do have damage focus, this does mean sort of more usual champion gameplay where we're going to be passing our first turn, get those buffs, and everyone else is just going to kind of be doing some stuff to mitigate incoming damage. I'll just kind of fast forward through that stuff because I want to focus on the White Knight gameplay. All right, we have a very good grouping here for like a whirlwind or something. And we do have the culling hits, which means we'll get executions, which will trigger our rage. So it should be a bit easier to get our damage train rolling. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our allies out of the way so they don't get smacked by that whirlwind. Actually, we do want to take some damage. So we'll actually do a little bit of AP. Take a little bit of damage, pop Blessed Weapon. Then let's move Galahad to safety. Then if we Whirlwind... Okay, let's soften them up a little bit so we can get some kills. Something like this. Let's even stun you, because then we can follow up with a coup de grace. Alright, Whirlwind. Cool. Won't even need a coup. I'm curious, how much would it do? That's about 515 damage, roughly. And that's only off, like, 2 kills, so we don't even have that much damage bonuses stacked up yet. That's really good, honestly. But let's just go for the free chain kill. Nice. Then if we move up, if we power attack... How much would coup de grace be on you? Oh my god! 890? Man, this thing is so much damage. What about you? And for an upright enemy without the 140%, we're still hitting this guy for like almost 300 damage. That's still really good. Whoops. I think we can probably get a double kill here, though, with coup de grace. Yep, there we go, with just Death Hex. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That coup de grace makes a huge difference in really helping secure some extra kills and either getting our ball rolling or really help keep it going on some pretty high health targets. Alright, so this next fight, lots of filler. And I know what you may be thinking, the White Knight super busted in the base game, right? Because his Blessed Weapon stacks. So if we get enough cooldown reduction, we can just keep doing Blessed Weapon, keep getting an extra 20%, extra 20%, extra AP per kill, right? Because it comes with that upgrade. Well, to kind of prevent that, because if Blessed Weapon still work that way in this mod, due to how everyone else has their AP refund mechanics just nerfed across the board, if the Blessed Weapon could still stack like that, it would make White Knight by far and away probably the strongest damage dealer in the game. So to avoid that, Blessed Weapon now no longer stacks. It refreshes. So you'll still get that 1 AP per kill, but it will stay at 1 AP per kill. That 20% will stay 20%. So it's a pretty significant nerf to Blessed Weapon, but as I've mentioned before, the sort of main theme of this mod is to make the champions more engaging and dynamic and fun, while also bringing down the power level a bit to make it a bit more challenging. So, but no worries. I think you'll see in this fight that we still have plenty of killing potential with the White Knight, even with his Blessed Weapon nerfed. We're going to wait for these enemies to kind of get in closer, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, blessed weapon time, divine favor. Now let's get into some multi-kill positions. Alright, let's move here. Still plenty of damage to one shot of fodder. That advance definitely really helps. We got a lot of stacking damage bonuses for moving so many tiles. I mean, there you go. Could hardly tell. Then we've moved to here. We're just going to be the same thing. Okay, we're poisoned now, which is good. It means we're going to be taking some health damage while keeping our armor full, which helps us get full advantage out of the Vengeance buff. So if we kill this guy, I think we can probably just... Nope. Alright, we're going to have to go with a power attack. And then if we finish him off here, and we can go ahead and pop Blessed Weapon. And the next turn we'll finish off these bodies, and we'll get to these guys next turn. For now, let's hit him with some of this, though. Okay. Blessed Knight. Let's finish off these bodies. Actually, we can just Earth Ball. That didn't kill. Wow. Well, that was kind of a waste. I'm dumb. Oh well. Just start running over, I suppose. Right. Move to here, and curious how much this would do. Man, it's a lot. And boom, boom. So, as you can see, especially thanks to things like the Vengeance rework being much stronger now, still plenty of clearing potential with the White Knight. Nothing I think you really need to be worried about in terms of missing the original version of Blessed Weapon. One last fight to show things off. Not quite as many fodder to sort of feed off of in the very beginning, but a decent amount to then go in, and we'll see how well we can then sweep these more tough elite type enemies. We'll just turtle up our first turn as usual and get that damage focus started. Alright, Blessed Weapon. Let's go ahead and move Morgos. Just so that way we can get to here. And then free hits. Did a little more damage to Morgos than I sort of intended, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and... let's drop a stun on you. And now let's move... perfect. Let's move here, and then if we coup de grace... damn! That's over 1,000 damage. Alright. Alright, we have 0 HP. We didn't take a whole lot of vitality damage from that due to being able to keep very high armor. Alright, no kill there, but that's fine. If we should have Divine Favored first. We have enough for an Earth Ball, which will kill that, which will give me a free swing on you. Do I have enough? Let's move here. Because if my Earth Ball kills you, if I swing on you, maybe the 2 damage bonuses from here will give me enough for a swing on you to get a kill. So let's see how that works. Nice. And then I can Earthshaker and get you. Blessed Weapon. And we can just finish you off. Alright, I think that's a good last fight to end on. I think that gave us a pretty good look at the reworked White Knight. Nothing super crazy or different from the original White Knight. Still kind of plays pretty similar. You're still wanting to try and keep Blessed Weapon up as much as possible, and you still have damage focus, but I think a main difference here is coup de grace. This ability really stuck out to me. It's super strong, able to do hundreds of damage before you even get a kill if you set it up properly with, a stun or a knockdown or a blind, which makes it really, really good for getting your damage stacks started, plus the extra 30% from behind on top of that, so it's extra backstab damage. This is just an amazing ability to get started, and it's even better once your damage stacks have already started rolling. I mean, you saw there, I managed to move up behind that elite, who I think was at full health, and because of bonuses from Advance, the bonuses set up to get all of the bonuses off of coup de grace, plus Blessed Weapon, hit him for over 1,000 damage. That's crazy good, and we didn't even have a lot of rage stacks going. We had some for sure, but not a lot, and being able to get 1,000 that early, just crazy, crazy good. I definitely think White Knight is still quite a strong damage dealer, especially with the Vengeance rework. This honestly kind of has become a bit of a must-take, I think, for your champions in the Enhanced Edition. It was a lot of fun. Coup de grace it just felt good being able to get that huge hit, But like I said, not a whole lot of changes, but it still feels good to play. He doesn't feel overly weak now with the nerfed Blessed Weapon. Definitely still worth playing should you pick up the mod. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one.